This episode is brought to you by Odd Moe's Pizza in Canby. Handmade awesome pizza plus craft beer, wine, and cider delivered. Order today at 503-263-8444 or visit them online at oddmoes.com.
This episode is also brought to you by Canby Foursquare Church. Since 1978, a place to grow, connect, and serve. Sunday services on campus and online at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Learn more at canbyfoursquare.com. Welcome to Now Hear This Canby,
Your source for news.
The threat of a possible teacher strike was avoided this week.
There's a new, irresistibly cute creature winning over fans, and its name is Scootaloo.
Sports.
It's like Lucy in the football. You want to kick a field goal, but they take it away from you.
We had to learn how to win.
Goal can't be in the last second of the game!
And interesting conversations.
Because I'm one of the strongest girls ever, and I know that for a fact.
I just really enjoy writing gossip as if I was a bear.
With an old maid daughter that make the best moonshine in the coast.
And if it would have hit me in the face, I think I would have died. I really do.
I guarantee you would have died, man. Are you kidding me?
Welcome back to another episode of Now Hear This Canby podcast. I'm Tyler Clausen, and like we've been doing, I'm breaking from the mold. I'm no longer stuck in the comic book painting. I'm in the real world now. I'm a real human being, not an AI voice that's been generated to read the news for you. And I'm bringing other people into the studio because I'm not that exciting to talk to. So we're bringing other people in from Canby. Today with me is Kayla Deshazer. Mm-hmm. And I got it right.
Yeah.
2 times in a row.
Yeah, good job.
So proud of myself. Kayla, welcome to the studio.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah. Is this the first time here? You've been here before?
No, I met, oh, now I'm drawing a blank. I did the Between the Lewis and Lovecraft thing here,
right.
And we talked about books
Hannah.
for like an hour. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was so fun. That was a long time ago, though.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was
Between
fun.
Lewis and Lovecraft was an amazing podcast. It still is. We're just, you know, life things get in the way. And so I'm still using my child as an excuse to not do extra stuff.
Hey, I've got 4 of them, and I use them all the time.
Yeah. I need 4 more excuses.
No, you don't.
So it probably wasn't like this for our audience. I'm pointing to the room around us when you were here last time, right?
Yeah, it's a little different. It looks so good in here. It's really decorated, really fun. There was just like a giant table in the middle with like chairs but yeah, it looks great.
Thank you. Frankie and I, we went to town on it. I got some family members to help us out, and I went for the theme of like a fantasy tavern.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
You feel like
in your book.
Yeah, like in my book. We don't have to.
Okay, sorry, but that's what it totally reminded me of.
I do want to get another sign that is, you know, based off the book. So
yeah,
maybe
that'd be cool.
someday.
Yeah, I love it.
But yeah, so this is our studio. Kayla, you're hanging out with us because you're one of the people that I see doing a lot in town, and so I'm kind of jealous because even with 4 kids, you're doing like 1,000 times as much stuff as I possibly can. So how does that make you feel?
Kind of weird, I guess. I don't know. I grew up here. I love living here. I kind of see it as my own Stars Hollow from Gilmore Girls, kind of like town where I want to be involved in all the activities. I want to like see the town doing more things, and so I just get involved a lot, and I have a great husband who helps me actually do all that. So
yeah. I feel like we're going to end up talking about your husband a lot and just how great he is.
Yeah,
so he's going to be...
Let's not idolize him. But no, he's pretty great.
Yeah. So that's a great segue. Let's get into, you know, who you are, where you came from. You said you're from Canby, born and raised?
I was born here, and then my mom married, and we moved to Oregon City for a couple years.
All the way out there.
All the way out to Oregon City, so far away. And then we moved back, and I went to Karis and grew up out there in the country, and then moved back to Canby in high school, and been here ever since. Never got out of here.
Yeah.
Met my husband working at Cuts Force Thriftway. Nice. Actually, we were in the same grade going to the same school since middle school.
Yeah.
No idea who he was. I did not know who he was.
It wasn't until you were out of high school working at the same place?
We were, our senior year, we started working at Cutsforce Thriftway.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I said, hey, you know, are you working this weekend? He's like, yeah, I'm working this weekend. I'm like, cool. Are you going to so-and-so's party? And he's like, yeah, Kayla, like, I'm going to her party. We have known each other for years. And I'm like, wait, who are you? I'm like, okay.
Here you are trying to pick up a stranger and he already knows everything about you.
Yeah, he's like, we're in French class together. I'm like, oh. Okay.
If you don't mind sharing, what year did you graduate?
2005.
2005. Okay, so you're only a couple years ahead of me.
Okay. Yeah.
I was 07.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, we went to high school together. I didn't even
Sorry.
realize that. No,
Okay.
I didn't realize that. That's on both of us.
I was in my own world in high school, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, so me too, 100%. I hung out with my youth group. Mm-hmm. And that was it. Like maybe a couple other people, but it definitely was never anybody older than me because I always had an inferiority complex of like, I'm only a junior.
Yeah. No, I hung out with a lot of different groups. Like it's different than it is now. Like my boys go to the high school now, which isn't a whole nother weird story.
Yeah.
But when I was in high school, everyone had their own cliques and their own things, but we were all friends and we all still talked to each other and we all knew each other. So it was kind of weird that I didn't even know Jake when we were going to school together because like he played baseball and I played softball and I knew a lot of the baseballers and, you know, we were all in the field at the same time. But we went to the same youth group. Like,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So like,
you really were.
We really were.
It made no sense that you didn't know.
I know. So, but I had a lot going on in my life. Like I was playing softball and volleyball and I was in Catalinas and I was just in choirs, just doing a lot. And so until we started working together, I was the cashier and he was my bag boy. And then it never stopped from there on. We even got married there. We got married upstairs in the old town hall area.
That's awesome. Did you do that on purpose? Was it like, we've been working here, we want to do this? Or was it like, we're here anyway, let's just...
Well, we were 19, so we were very poor. And they're like, you get the employee discount. We're like, we love that.
The employee discount on a wedding venue.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. No, the Cutsforce are great. And they made it a great day. And it was really fun to have our wedding up there. So,
how long did you work at Thriftway?
Oh, I worked there my senior year. And then I worked there until our second child was a toddler. So it was like 4 or 5 years I was there. Mm-hmm.
Nice. And were you always cashier? Were you moving around doing different stuff?
Oh, I did the pizza department for a while.
Which doesn't exist anymore.
It's now sushi.
Right? What kind of crazy world is this? We're from the 90s where pizza was the thing and now apparently sushi is the thing.
I know. Well, sushi is good too. But you can still get pizza there. It's just they make it and box it up for you now. But then I was the express checker. So I just got everyone through like really fast. Yeah. So that was me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool.
It was a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it your first job?
That was besides like babysitting. Yeah. That was my first job. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. My first job was Godfathers back when it was a thing.
Okay.
Yeah. That was my jam.
Nice.
Like if I was capable of it, I would have like grew up in Godfathers and like made my way to like owner somehow because I loved it. I loved working there.
That's awesome.
I invented pizzas while I was there. It was the best.
That was the best part of working in the pizza department. It was like making the pizza you liked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. And then you share with your friends and it's like you create your own secret menu that like
it's only like Starbucks for pizza.
Wait, is there Starbucks secret menu? I didn't know Starbucks.
Oh yeah.
I only know of like In-N-Out and their secret menu.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that one.
I don't get too deep into food culture, despite what I look like.
No. Yeah.
Okay. So you you went to high school with all these people that you didn't know, but you did know. You worked at Thriftway. What ended up? Why'd you quit Thriftway?
I had kids. So I had 2 kids at that point, and Jake was working 2 jobs, and I stayed home, and I wanted to raise the kids.
Yeah.
So I stayed home and raised the kids, and then we ended up having 2 more. And so I was kind of a stay-at-home mom for a long period of time, and only kind of got back into the workforce about 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think I know the answer to this, but where did you end up working?
My first job back into the Canby workforce was at the Book Nook.
Yeah. The Book Nook.
Yeah. Yeah.
Genuinely my favorite place in Canby.
I know.
If I
town,
could pay rent, I'd just live there.
Yes. Every town should have an independent bookstore, I believe. I'm a huge believer in independent bookstores, and they make the town. Everyone wants to go there, and the atmosphere there. I loved working there. I loved talking to people about books there. The customers were so great. It was a great place to work.
So obviously you don't go working for a bookstore unless you enjoy books.
I love books, yeah. But that's not why she hired me.
Oh, really?
So I was actually, that was like COVID times, and I was reading a lot of books at home, and I started a Bookstagram page, and met a lot of authors online, and was like posting all the time. I had like upwards of 5,000 followers. I was doing all the things. Authors were sending me money to review their books.
Wow.
So it was fun. So she saw that, and she was like, I need you to come over and do my social media. I'm like, okay, cool. I love books. So that's kind of how that gig started out.
That's really cool. So it straight up came from a love of books. Like, you didn't just walk in and say, I like books, give me a job. You had a passion, you were just doing it, and that got you noticed.
Yeah. A lot of people think they can just walk into you like to read, you can go be a bookseller. It's not actually that simple.
I don't know. I like to eat, and I worked at a food place. So
yeah. Okay.
No, I fully believe it's harder than how it seems. But at the same time, I think I don't know. I think for a lot of people, it's a dream to own a bookstore because we're dicing up dreams here.
Oh, so sorry. It's not quite. It's busy. It's a lot. And actually, when I started working there, I wasn't reading as much because I was so busy trying to figure out what the book trends were and only reading snippets of books so that I knew what to sell people on.
Yeah.
So like if you liked fiction, I needed to know what fiction books were coming out and what they were popular with. So I would read like the first 3 or 4 chapters of 100 books.
Yeah.
So I could tell you the beginning. And if I don't like a book after 100 pages, I won't read it. So I kind of use that as my system to tell people, okay, well, this one grabbed me right away, or this one's about this, or if you like drama, this one has that.
How quickly can you read 100 pages?
Oh, I never sat down and timed myself, but a sitting, I just sit down and read 100 pages. Yeah. A half an hour, maybe?
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
I'm so slow. I'm so slow. I love reading, but I am so stinking slow at it. I will if I can read 100 pages in one day, I'm proud of myself.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Everyone has their own pace.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It just makes me feel bad.
Sorry.
No, because I know you were on Lewis and Lovecraft. Hannah, the co-host of that show, she read a book a week, and that was one of the reasons why she and I started that show, was because she's like, yeah, I like to read, and I can read a lot. And I was like, thank God, because I can't. I like to read, and I give up very quickly. And so that worked really well. When you did you start to? Were you ever able to find time to read books that you started and you really enjoyed?
Yeah, no. So I had a 100 book challenge for a year, and I wanted to read 100 books, and I did that while I was working there. So I still read 100 books in a year. So I still completed my challenge. It was just a lot of picking books up and reading them, and if they weren't grabbing me, putting them aside, and that was really hard for me to realize there's so many books out there. I don't have to love every single one, and I can move on to the next one.
Yeah. Isn't it a scary concept to realize that you're not going to be able to read all the books you want?
Oh no, yeah, that hurts my brain. Because my library right now, my physical library in my house, I have I counted it recently. It was 970 some books.
Whoa.
And I've read maybe half of them.
Yeah.
And I just keep adding more. And I'm like, this is not
At a certain point, you're going to have more books than you could possibly read in your lifetime.
Yeah, book collecting is also a thing.
That's why I like audiobooks on 3 speed.
Yes.
And we can get
3
through 'em.
speed. Oh gosh.
I think the fastest I do right now, I'm listening to Brandon Sanderson's third Stormlight Archives book.
Oh, so good.
Which is 54 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got it on 1.5 just because I'm I just got to get through this thing.
Yeah.
So I can catch up.
Yeah.
Because by the time I finish the 4th one, I'm sure the 5th will come out.
Probably. He's so good. I love his books.
You're a fan of his, or
yeah.
Have you read most of his stuff, or just a couple? Or
I fell in love with Mistborn. Mistborn was the first book that I read of his, and I kind of fell in love with that series, and then started diving into it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the branches it goes in. Where do I begin?
Yeah.
And so I just kept going as far as I could go, and then I needed a break. I'm like, this is a lot.
It is.
So then I started reading Steelheart, which is, have you read that one?
No.
That one is kind of have you seen the show The Boys?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but for younger. It's middle.
okay.
It's middle grade The Boys. It's so good.
All right.
So then that was just kind of easier. It was an easier read, not super intense into the world, and not a lot of world building in that one. It was just kind of about the story.
Yeah.
And so I read that series, and that was a good series.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten back into that lately because I've been so busy.
Sure.
Yeah.
I did Elantris, and I did not like it.
Okay.
I didn't even finish it. I was like, this is boring.
Yeah.
This is the most boring thing I've ever read. And then I took a chance and jumped over to Mistborn, and immediately was like, this is great.
Yeah.
This is one of the best things I've ever read. And then before even continuing on, I went to Stormlight, which is his huge series, for people that don't know. Really, really good fantasy story, or writer.
But you need to be invested. It's a process.
Mistborn is kind of the medium, I feel like, because you can just read, there's shorter books and you can read just the first trilogy and just
and then you could be done if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Totally.
What would you say is your favorite book?
I can't answer that question. I hate that question.
What would you say is 3 of your top favorite books?
Okay. I really like. Ooh. Okay. I love. Let's see. So right off the top of my head, I would have to say Little Women. I just have to. It's nostalgia. It's just so good. So that would be my top nostalgia book. I read probably every Christmas. I read that book.
Yeah.
Another book I love that's more recent is Empire of the Vampire.
Okay.
By Jay Kristoff. Actually, I kind of love Jay Kristoff. I love all of his books. So shout out to Jay Kristoff if you're listening to this.
He listens to very random, specific hometown.
Please give me all of your books. That'd be great. Come visit me
and come on our podcast.
Yeah, that'd be great. So I love his books too. So anything written by him. I love fantasy. So I can't really pick. I love fantasy and I love sci-fi. I love Pierce Brown. I'm reading
that's Red Rising, right?
The Red Rising trilogy. Yeah. I'm on the 3rd, so there's a trilogy and then there's 3 more that happen 10 years later. I'm in that set right now. That's a really good series. It's like a space opera, if you know what that kind of it's
Star Wars is a space opera technically.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. It's like Hunger Games and Star Wars had a baby.
Okay.
It's really good. I love that series. So, and I got my husband to start reading by reading those. He was not a reader.
Yeah.
And he does audiobooks only. And so he drives a lot for work.
Yep.
And started listening to that. And he's like, this is amazing. So we've been reading, I've been rereading and he's reading it. And so we're kind of reading it together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is he on Libro?
He's on both. He's on, he's on Audible. He's on Libro. He's on anything.
He loves autobiographies
too. So he listens to a lot of those too.
I was listening to a ton of biographies when I was doing Lewis and Lovecraft more. And it was like, it's nice to take a break and listen to just fantasy and dive into stuff. Like I took a break from Sanderson, went to Terry Pratchett and did the first in the Discworld series.
Okay, I haven't read any Terry Pratchett yet, but it's sitting on my shelf.
Which one?
Okay, a couple of them. But the recent one I bought was like a witchy one. Is it a witch one?
Yeah, probably Wright's.
Something Sister.
Something Wright's.
No, what's it called? I can't remember.
Yeah. So basically, he wrote 54 books that take place in one world, the Discworld, but the 54 books are like all standalone. There is a sequential reading order if you want to get super nerdy about it,
which I do.
Then you want to start at The Color of Magic.
That's the one I have.
There you go.
Okay, that's the one I have. I haven't started that yet.
I liked it. Okay, I'm a huge fan. One of my top favorites is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh yeah, I've read that.
Like genuinely one of the greatest books ever written.
Yeah.
And I thought that I was going to basically be reading a fantasy version of that, and I didn't. That's not what Color Out of Space was. Or Color Out of Space. Color of Space is definitely not that. Color of Magic. It was its own thing, and it was a little bit more dry and abstract in a weird way, and I wasn't ready for it, so I'm still trying to come to terms with it before I move on to the next book.
Okay, good to know.
Turn attack.
Hey, Tyler, what you doing?
My dang Wi-Fi keeps going out, and I'm just trying to move this router somewhere else, get a better signal. It's been years since I set this thing up, and now I forgot how to do it.
Oh, years, huh? How many years are we talking?
I don't know, like 7 or 8 maybe?
Well, no wonder your Wi-Fi stinks. You got a router that's older than my 4th grader stuffed behind a bunch of stuff at the back of your entertainment center.
But this is state-of-the-art router systems, bro.
It might have been when you bought it, but Wi-Fi technology has progressed a lot since then. Think about it. Would you expect an 8-year-old smartphone to be able to do the things that a modern one can?
I don't know. My iPhone 4 seems to do okay. So are you saying to go out and buy a new system? That's going to cost me a fortune.
Not necessarily. You have Direct Link, right? Didn't you hear that they're upgrading their network? All members on Fiber can get a brand new router installed by their techs for free.
What? Seriously? Are you sure that's not some sort of scam?
Nope, it's just their commitment to their members as a local cooperative. Everyone that hasn't already been upgraded this year gets a new Wi-Fi router and access to the new network management mobile app called Omni IQ. You can use it to customize your network settings, use some parental controls to set time limits and content restrictions for kids, create a separate network for guests, and more.
I better get going on that then. So, how do I get started with the process?
Just call the member services team at 503-266-8111 and tell them you'd like to upgrade to Omni. They'll get you scheduled for an appointment, and one of their expert technicians will come out to install the new router at no cost to you.
Okay, 503-266-8111. Hey, hello, directly? I'm ready to upgrade to Omni. Right now.
Wow, that iPhone 4 does work.
Okay, so, I mean, we could talk about books for literally the entire time, but we've got other things to talk about.
Yeah.
All the not book nerds have turned their podcasts off while they're driving. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about what you do currently. You went from slinging books to slinging websites, right? That's what you're doing now.
Yeah. So doing the whole Bookstagram thing and then starting to work at the Book Nook and realizing like the social media, website design, marketing thing is needed. And I enjoy it and it's kind of fun. So I started getting approached by other businesses and I started doing their social media. And then I helped them design their websites and it just kind of grew from there. And I had fun working with businesses around town, helping them grow their social media. When a lot of businesses are struggling, marketing is the first thing to go.
Yeah.
And so it's just really trying to make them realize like you actually need to reach the people that are not regulars that are not coming in here.
Yeah.
And how do you do that? You do that with social media. You do that with advertising. We do that with marketing.
Well, and marketing is such a such a big word. I mean, like, it's easy to go, okay, we need to focus on marketing. Let's start a Facebook page, but it can be so much bigger than that, and so more involved. Like, I'm a business owner, so I watch a lot of stuff on marketing and stuff, and there's people that straight up do like almost like pranks to try and get, like, movies do a lot of pranks and stuff.
Yeah.
But like there's small businesses. I can't remember the one I watched, but there was a small business that straight up was like pranking the people in their hometown, and it was like a nice prank. It wasn't a mean or anything,
Yeah.
but it got them to go to this website and realize, oh, this is something that I'm interested in, and they sold tickets for whatever they were doing. And I'm like, that's insane. Like, who thinks of that sort of thing? So is that kind of what you're doing, or are you just focusing on social media and website development?
So a lot of what I do is I make it personable. Like you said, doing the pranks and stuff, you want to be relatable. You want people to want to watch you. You want people to be engaged in what you're doing. You want people to like you. People are, especially people in Canby, are not going to just buy from Fred Meyer because it's convenient. Like, they actually do like to make a connection with people, and they buy things from people that they have a connection with.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to grow your social media platform in an organic way. I don't pay for ads. Very rarely do any of my clients pay for ads. It's an organic growth thing.
Yeah.
I like making it personable. I like seeing their faces. Like, we don't just want to see your plate of food. We want to see who the owner is. We want to see who the chefs are.
Yeah.
We want to see who is the kid behind the counter. Like, they want to be engaging with other people, especially during COVID. Like, when you couldn't see anyone, that grew a lot during COVID. It was, everyone needed to be on social media for that. And it's true though. Like, you want to walk into a store and you want to know that person, and you want to be greeted with a friendly face, and you want to have a good conversation. The better time you're having, the more you're going to spend. Like, legit. I mean, I do. I like to go shopping, and I like to be wooed. I like someone to take my stuff and put it in the dressing room for me. I like, I like to have a glass of wine or champagne waiting for me while I'm shopping around. Like, you want to be wooed. So why wouldn't you do that online too?
Yeah. I don't know how you get people champagne and wine online, but it sounds like a great idea.
You promote it. You say, hey, come to Sunday. We have mimosas.
There you go.
You promote it. You let people know, here's where the stuff is.
Yeah. I know. What would you say is, like, I started like 3 different sentences. I know that there's a lot of obstacles that get in the way of marketing for a lot of times. For a lot of people, what would you say is the number one obstacle you face when you're helping a client get their name out there more?
Yeah. With the organic approach, you don't see a rise right away.
Yeah.
It is a long-term thing. If you're going to pay for ads, you're going to see all of a sudden thousands of people looking at your post. But the way you pay for an ad, it just kind of dwindles over time until you start paying more.
Yeah.
With an organic approach, it does take longer, but you grow that solid base, that solid customer base that you're going to have.
Yeah, I know a lot of people nowadays, there's a lot of get rich quick ideas on, I mean, even with podcasting, I have a lot of people that come to us and they're like, I want to start a podcast and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's great. Everyone should have a podcast. Everybody in the world should have a podcast.
Yeah.
Don't expect to make money at it. Like, we've been doing this for 5 years and we're still getting off the ground, right? And starting a podcast, starting a business, it's basically the same thing. And it's the same thing that goes into social media, where you start a Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, and it takes time to build that audience. It's not something that you're going to just, for most people at least, it's like winning the lottery. Like, most people aren't going to win it. You're just going to have to keep grinding at it for a long time.
Right.
What sort of thing have you seen be the most effective? Like, something you're, like, specifically proud of achieving?
That's a loaded question. I don't know. What do you mean?
I don't know. Like, you've done something, you did an event, you did a specific post, and you're like, this worked out better than I thought.
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
I didn't know if there was going to be one of them. I'm kind of just hoping that that's something that happens.
It just happens every once in a while that you're like, okay. And sometimes it comes out of the blue. You're like, okay, that reel did amazing, or that video did amazing, but why? Because why is it so popular right now? Yeah. It's just kind of the way the trends go, or if you're using trending audio. Hashtags don't matter as much as they used to, so that's not always a thing anymore. But it's some posts just do better than others, and when they do, you're like, cool. What's more important is consistency. Yeah. And being online every day and engaging online every day. And if you're not doing that, it tells the algorithm that you don't want to be here. Yeah. And it stops showing your posts to people.
You basically have to become a content creator.
You have to do it every day. You have to create content every day. That's why a lot of my clients hire me, because they don't have time to do it. They're running businesses. They don't have time to sit there and create content.
Real quick, I do apologize. We never said what the name of your company is. We're
Sorry.
30 minutes in, and people are like, I don't know what she does. What's the name of your company?
Spark Social Media.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. So now people can go and look it up.
We'll spark your business. We'll light a spark. No, it's just engaging every day is really important, and just being present, because once you stop being present, people aren't going to watch you anymore, and you're not going to be shown. The algorithm just really kicks you back.
Yeah. There was a point where I was doing a podcast. It was a Dungeons and Dragons podcast, and we kind of, not big time, but exploded a little bit on TikTok. We went from like 200 followers to a little over 1,000 followers in like a weekend. It was nuts. And then the show, we ended the show, and so I was like, hey, I'm gonna go back to my personal page, which had like 10 followers. And I have not been able. I think I just got over 200 followers, and that I started going back to my personal page like a year and a half, 2 years ago. It's been like fighting an uphill battle, and I tried for a long time to be very consistent and at least post once a day, but it got to a point where I just ran out of ideas. Does that happen a lot?
Yeah, it's a lot of figuring out what other people are posting too, and what's trending. So being in your stories is really important, even if you're just like posting what you're doing that day. Yeah. But it is hard to come up with content a lot when it's just you do the same thing every day. Yeah. So I see that, but there's ways around that for sure.
Nice.
Hire me and I'll tell you what they are.
I was gonna say they gotta come to the.
I can't give you all the secrets.
No, I don't expect you to give away secrets. I'm more just because I've been trying to do that for a long time. Frankie's very good at social media, as far as I can tell. Yeah, he does a very good job of being very consistent, concise, and I mean, he's the world's #1 reporter. So he has a ton of content. You know, I'm here in the studio and I just sit around and I'm like, what do you guys think of the new DuckTales? Let's talk about that. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about DuckTales. If you care about DuckTales, hit me up.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with DuckTales. Anything Disney is great.
Yeah. I had a question, totally spaced. Well, I was saying before, you basically have to be a content creator. Is there stuff that people can do that's not becoming a TikToker, Instagrammer, and YouTuber? Is there other stuff out there that people can do to help get their name out there, or is that it?
Oh, no. So a lot of my clients take advantage of different magazines or different advertising that they do all over the place. So there's a lot. It kind of depends where you are. Not all of my clients are in Canby, so there's different things based off what town you're in. Yeah. But there's a lot of different like brochures or flyers or things you can put in the mail, or it's not all online.
Sure.
So,
because I feel like the physical stuff kind of almost has nostalgic is what I keep thinking of. I don't necessarily think that's the term I'm looking for, but nostalgic feel of like everybody expects for you to do online stuff. So when you do get somebody who's doing something in the real world and it's tangible and you can go to it and do a thing at a place, I feel like it's more exciting, especially in post-pandemic where we want to get out.
Yeah, just being involved in some of the community events and just however you can do it and plug yourself in there is important.
Yeah.
Even if you're sponsoring, like anything like that. So
what kind of
your name out
community events are you doing?
Right now, I am helping with the food and toy drive for the Kiwanis group. I'm really excited to help with that. I used to help with that in high school, and I'm just now getting back into that. So that's really exciting. I like seeing how much they do there.
Yeah.
They help so many families. So
they've grown huge, right?
Yeah.
They're at the fairgrounds?
They're at the fairgrounds now, putting all the stuff together, bagging up all of the toys for the food and toy drive. They do gift cards now for the food, so people can just go to the grocery store and get whatever
That's
food they like.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's great.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I didn't realize that they were doing that. Logistically, it just seems like a much easier process to be able to be like, hey, go get what you want.
Yeah.
Rather than let's carry around 50 turkeys.
Right.
And try and deliver these.
A big part of that is finding sponsors for that. So they don't just have the money to go buy all the gift cards. So
Sure.
a lot of clients, a lot of businesses, a lot of people in town donate money for them to be able to do that. And so finding the sponsors to donate money so they can go buy gift cards is a big blessing. And then there's a lot of teenagers that is really hard to buy for. So figuring out what teenagers like, you can't just go buy a Barbie or a Hot Wheel. So it's been exciting kind of helping them with that. So I'm just starting that up. It's only October, but we're like gearing up for that because it is a big thing that they do. And I'm really excited to be a part of that.
Yeah. Is there a way that not businesses, just people, if they want to get involved with that?
Yeah, 100%. Anyone can donate toys. We're going to have barrels all over town. There'll be big red barrels. You can donate toys. You can even give money donations. You can even help volunteer your time putting the bags together, delivering the bags to the families. So there's a ton of ways to get involved. So if you want to help with that, please reach out to me or anyone in the Kiwanis.
All right. Would they reach out to you like through Spark? Or,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Spark. Yeah. Spark is involved in the Kiwanis is
Gotcha.
how I should kind of say that. So.
Yeah. You're not going to give out your personal email address.
No.
I mean, we were going to have to before we told people what the name of the company was.
Yeah.
What are you excited about other than the Kiwanis toy drive with Canby? I mean, Canby's ever changing, and it seems like, especially post-pandemic, there's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
What are you excited about?
Well, it's October, so it's my favorite season.
It's everybody's favorite season. If it's not your favorite season, you're insane.
I know. It's the best. Last Sunday was my birthday, so that kind of kicks off the season for me.
It's kind of a gateway celebration into...
Yep.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So I love celebrating birthdays. It's very fun for me. So I love celebrating my own, of course. So we had a fun birthday bash, and now it's like I helped put all the posts up for the scarecrows are coming up this week downtown. Yeah. And I love seeing everybody's creativity and making all the cool scarecrows downtown that Hot Rod DreamWorks puts on.
Yeah.
So everyone can go vote for their favorite scarecrow. I've got something in the works. I can't really tell you about it, but it's like a secret. But next year,
but there's something.
Next fall, there will be something really exciting and fun to look forward to. So it takes a whole year to plan something. Yeah. So I'm just doing that now, but I'll just put it out there that next year, there'll be something really fun to do in October for everyone. Because, hello, my favorite season.
It's the best.
Gotta help out.
Do you go to any haunted houses?
Oh, gosh, I'm so scared.
You don't go to them? It's your favorite season, but you're like, nah.
I've done a couple. I've done like the Milburn Haunted House. And I've done Savi's Island one time. I did like the corn maze thing. So like I love pumpkin patches. I love doing the corn mazes. Although I have a terrible sense of direction.
So you're in until
I'm in, and if I don't come out for a couple hours, I usually take a book in there with me.
Go find a little corner by yourself.
I have 4 kids. It's quiet. It's a night away.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, the haunted houses. I like being scared to an extent, but if anyone touches me, you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
So get back.
Tyler, did you know that the Australian lyrebird can mimic any sound that it hears, even chainsaws?
No, that's super interesting.
Did you know that a baby puffin is called a puffling? Or that baby sea otters can't swim, so their moms wrap them up in pieces of kelp until they learn how to paddle?
Wait, do you know any trivia that isn't like animal related?
Not really, but here's some stuff you may not know about the Wild Hare Saloon, where Canby goes to eat and have fun.
Okay.
The Wild Hare is one of Canby's longest running locally owned restaurants. Owners Joan and Darren Moden have been in business for 16 years.
That's cool.
Heck, you were just a baby back then.
Wait, what?
And they love to give back. They've been members of the Canby Chamber for that long, and they donate over $20,000 to local sports, FFA programs, and civic organizations each year.
Wow, I'm legitimately caught off. That's cool.
Yeah. They also support more than 30 jobs in the community through their award-winning staff, some of them as young as 18. Hey, that's older than you are.
Dude, I'm 10 months younger than you.
With the days getting longer and the weather getting warmer, the Canby Wild Hare's expansive outdoor patio is the place to be. Furry friends welcome.
Well, that sounds great. I'm going to go check them out just off of Highway 99E next to the Space Age in Canby at 1656 Beaver Creek Road in Oregon City, or on their website at thewildharesaloon.net. I think it's great that, I don't know how it is anymore because I haven't gone out in a couple of years. Pandemic, I had a kid. He's too young to trick or treat. Last year I took him to one house, and then he was like, I'm done, we're going home. I'm like, yeah, all right, I got a little bit of candy, let's go home. He was 6 months old at that point, or like 9 months old, so
that's adorable.
I had to just all right, let's go back. But when I was a kid, when I was in high school, my dad had a house on the south side of town, and where all the nice houses are. And we started doing haunted houses in his garage.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it took us all October to build it. And we did 4 or 5 years in a row. And each year it got more and more intricate. But then at the same time, there were other houses in the neighborhoods that would also do these intricate haunted houses.
That is
one
so
dude
cool.
did a Pirate's Cove or something, and
I know whose house that is.
Right? Yeah, and I think it's really cool. I love the idea that people are creating this thing that welcomes people into their home in a messed up sort of way, but still is very welcoming. And the idea that kids and adults on Halloween night can just tour Canby and hit all these scary free haunted houses that people spend a month building. That's the part of that Halloween that I I get really into. The last year we did it, we went full zombie apocalypse because Walking Dead was a thing, and people would go in and they'd see people we did this back and forth through the garage, and you'd see people turning into zombies, and then I would welcome them into a safe panic room.
Oh my gosh.
And there would be zombies coming down the hallway behind you, and they're hitting the door, and then we had our back exit door.
Okay, that's cool.
And then I was all right, let me just check and make sure the exit's okay. I had to open up the door, and then a flood of zombies would come in and rip my shirt apart, and guts would go everywhere, and be run. And then they'd go out, They get a piece of candy.
That's the best. That is the best.
It was awesome,
I
man.
mean, it's about community, though.
Yeah.
So, like, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Like, you're having fun doing it, but you're doing it with other people and you're doing it with the community. And that's why you love it so much.
It really is.
That's why I love Canby.
Yeah. I hope that there comes a day where we can just have, like, almost a tour of haunted Canby.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
So we create a map of all the houses that are doing big, intricate, free haunted houses.
They do it for the Christmas lights,
right? With the train thing that goes through.
You should do that.
Yeah.
Make a map.
Make a map. If you have a haunted house that you're building in your place, email us email me at Clausen@canbyfirst.com.
Perfect. That is so cool. I love that. So we just moved this last year, and we finally have like a bigger space where we can host things like that.
Yeah.
And I am more, so I used to throw weddings, and I used to do weddings and events a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did that, I was the coordinator, but also the planner, but also the decorator.
So everything.
So my husband would come with me, and I would say, okay, this is what the bride wants. We're going to throw it up like this, and you're just going to execute it. And he's like, okay. but he did, and he did a great job. So this year for Halloween, I said, I want spider webs going up here. I want bats that go like this, and they're going to come around and like go around, look like it's a moon around the light, and like throw all this stuff up. And he did. He decorated the whole house. There's not the whole house, but like 3 rooms. So we've got like a couple more rooms to go, but he did that for me, and I would love people to come over and see it because it's really cool and it's fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Last year my wife and I tried to do some stuff again. We had a newborn, so we had like no energy. This year somehow we have less energy and we care less, but we still love the season. But we have this backyard area in our apartment that's like the size of this room.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just got a bunch of gravestones and skeletons and stuff, and we put it out. I turned on, a fog machine, and I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever done. It's so easy, but it's amazing. And then, of course, Halloween ended. I didn't put it away. I think I just threw away the last gravestone this weekend.
Funny.
It stayed up all the way through New Year's, and people would come. They're like, "Why do you still have this up?" Be like, "Why take it down, man? Spooky season all year long."
Oh, that's funny. So you're super into the Halloween stuff.
That's
great. I love Halloween. I'm super into whatever holiday it is. I'm super into it.
That you get like into.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do in like, I don't know, between I guess Easter and 4th of July? Like it's like a stretch of not much.
Yeah, that's true. I'm also the person that so for Halloween, I started decorating for Halloween before October. Mm-hmm. So it was end of September and I started decorating.
Yeah.
Like that's Halloween. And then unless I'm hosting Thanksgiving, I don't decorate for Thanksgiving.
Sure.
It's still Halloween. So it's Halloween through November, like mid-November. And then I start decorating for Christmas mid-November. Right. And then it's Christmas till January.
Yep.
So it's Christmas for a while. And then it's like winter and spring. And you're like, meh. We've got a lot of birthday parties in that time frame. So it's like decorate with birthday party things. And, you've got like St. Patrick's Day, and so I decorate for that. But mostly it's just like the house is kind of clean and there's not stuff all over the walls. But it's fine.
Yeah. I totally get, taking Halloween all the way to Thanksgiving. We don't ever host Thanksgiving, so that's easy for us.
Mm-hmm.
I want us to get back to a place where we do like the 12 days of Christmas. That always seemed like a cool idea,
Mm-hmm.
like because there's so many people you want to see. If we have 12 days, it's way easier than one day. You know, so
especially
I think as a
when
society,
you're married and you've got multiple families to go to, and
it's so hard.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Especially if your parents are divorced and
Mm-hmm. both sides.
Both sides,
yeah. No, we got to a point where Jake and I were like, can we just run away on Christmas and just
Oh, man,
go to
I've thought about
Leavenworth
that.
and stay there for a week? And
Disney
Santa knows
World.
where we are. It's fine.
Disney World is where I want to take my wife.
Perfect. Do it.
My kid can go stay with grandparents.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna go.
Your kid outgrown. Yeah,
You thought we were gonna take our kid to Disney World? You fool! No, it's for Becca and I.
That's the best.
I'm gonna go hang out with Star-Lord. She's gonna go hang out with Gaston or whoever she likes.
That's so funny. Jake does not like rides. So when we go, we go to Disneyland a lot. When we go, he loved it when we had babies with us because he could sit on the ground with the baby while we all went on the rides.
Sorry, I got this kid.
Yeah.
I can't. I totally would. You know I'd be there,
Yeah.
but this kid.
I'm not even calling him out. He'll literally tell you that. He'll be like, yeah, I had the baby and it was great.
That's funny. Cool. Well, is there anything else you wanted to bring up or chat about?
I don't think so. I'm just I like to be involved in a lot of things. So I joined the chamber a couple years ago, and I'm an ambassador now at the chamber. So I've been doing a lot of community events with them, their golf tournament, things like that. There's a lot of new businesses in town. There's a lot of new people in Canby I don't know. And just because I grew up here and I've lived here forever, I don't know everyone. So
yeah, clearly you can go to school and church and work next to somebody.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get out more. I mean, I was a stay-at-home mom for so many years that I want to get back out there and meet new people. And that's been a really easy way for me to meet a lot of new businesses and see what kind of community events they're doing. I'm really involved in the First Thursday stuff. So I like doing the First Thursday stuff downtown. And any community events that are out there, I try to plug in. What do you want me to do? I'll take pictures, I'll hang things. So
nice.
It's fun getting involved, and the kids like it. My son plays in the band. He's in the jazz band at the high school.
Oh, nice. What does he play?
He plays the alto and the tenor sax.
Nice.
Yeah. He's really good. It's actually Christmas is Kenny G in my house. It's great. So he does a lot of that stuff. My other son does robotics. We're getting into that world of technical stuff that I don't understand, but we got that going.
Is he building the battle bots?
Yeah. So not battle. They don't do battles. They do they have to put discs in a thing and they have to be able to hang from a bar.
Oh, okay.
And I'm can you make it do the dishes or clean your room? That would be great. So we haven't gotten there yet, but I'm hoping he'll figure that out. That would be really helpful for me. So yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with me for a little bit. If you guys want to check out Spark, well, I'm so sorry.
Spark social media.
See, I wanted to say Spark Media.
It's Spark Marketing. Yeah. No, Spark Media, Spark Marketing. You'll find me.
Is Spark Media something I've seen around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I'm not completely dumb.
Nope, you're not wrong.
Spark social media, so that you can learn all the secrets of how to become TikTok famous.
Yes.
And yeah, check out if you want to get involved with the Canby Kiwanis toy drive. You can email Kayla through Spark, and just keep an eye out on all the fun stuff that she's doing around town.
Yeah. It's you can email me at Kayla@sparksocial.media.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
And with that, remember to stay safe in spooky season and get your spook on. I don't know. It's gonna be awkward.
This episode is brought to you by Oddmo's Pizza in Canby. Handmade awesome pizza plus craft beer, wine, and cider. Delivered. Call them today at 503-263-8444.
Now Hear This Canby is produced by me, Tyler Clausen. Our content director and star reporter is Tyler Frankie. And of course, our show is edited by Cameron Clausen. We also feature the vocal talents of Joyce Struby and James Walden. So a round of applause to them. The song that you're hearing right now is Can Be by singer-songwriter Olivia Harms, used with her permission. To find more work from her, you can visit her website, olivia13.com.
Now Hear This Can Be is dedicated to preserving independent local journalism and redefining local news with our fun, fresh, and energetic brand of storytelling. Our sincere thanks to our local sponsors who make this show possible. Please show your appreciation by supporting the small businesses who support us.
The production of Now Hear This Studios, Canby's locally owned full-service audio, video, and media production company. Our mission is to produce the best content in the universe, and we'd love to help you do it. Find us online at nhtstudios.com.
I will take a motion to adjourn.
I just moved it.
I didn't even ask for it, though.